So hello everyone. Today I'm demonstrating the data pipeline 7.5 features. So let's get started. We have the first feature, that is play and pause feature. This feature helps user can start and stop the component of the pipeline independently. Means the user can start and stop the component even if the pipeline is in activated mode. And also user can reconfigure the component without stopping the entire pipeline. Second one is a Python script validator on VCS. So using this component, we have already the Python script component, and now we have the feature validator. So what user can do, user can validate the script inside the Python script metadata information. So either the script is correct or not. Okay. So before executing the component or the pipeline, user can validate the script, either it is correct or incorrect. And we have one more feature, that is VCS, version control system or version control management system. So where the user can push and pull the script into the Git. Means whatever we have written, we can push and pull it into the Git. That is a version control system. Third one is the failure analysis. Failure analysis, nothing but user can analyze the failed record which is produced by the component inside the pipeline. So whenever the component is produced failed record, it should be displayed in the fail over event, right? So we can analyze our failed data on the failure analysis UI. And there are multiple extensive filter panels. You can use it and analyze our data based on our requirement. Another one is a DB sync. DB sync is nothing but it is a DB synchronization feature where user can directly write the data into the DB. So what we need to do here, we have to just create a DB sync event and directly connect with the component, and we can write into the respective database. Another feature is the version functionality, that is a version control functionality. So where the user can push and pull the pipeline metadata information into the same space or into the different space. So we have the two options for this version control functionality, migration one and the version control. So if the user want to be migrate our pipeline into the different space or the different server, user can use the git export migration option. And we have one more option, that is version control, which helps a user can create the or maintain the multiple versions for the same pipeline into the same space. Another feature is DS Lab model runner, which has a user whatever the script and models we have created in the DS Lab, user can export that models in the script into the pipeline and configure in this component, that is a DS Lab model component, and execute the workflow. So this is the DS model runner component. And another feature is the test suite for the pipeline, that is a test framework. So user can record, build, and execute the test cases before deploying the actual pipeline. Means we can execute single or multiple test cases for the individual component. Okay, and after that we can deploy the actual pipeline. So we have the multiple assertions are there. We can use it like number of records, number of columns, schema that we can assert it, and then we can get a proper report, either the test case is failing or it is passed. That will be also displaying in the report section. Next is border feature. A border feature is nothing but this is the component status indicator. Means suppose if our component is in active state, the border of the component will be displayed as green, and if the component is in inactive state, the border of the color will be displayed as red. So it's depend upon our pipeline, uh, our components invocation type. Mm, either it is configured with the real time and batch. So that is actually depend upon the active and inactive condition. We will show you in while I'm giving the demonstration. Copy paste feature is nothing but if we have configured, if we have modified anything in the component resources allocation, then if we want to be copy paste that component, you can copy paste it and then it will be retain the resources configuration. New component, so these are the component which is released in this 7.5, that is Kafka Consumer, RabbitMQ, Consumer and Producer, and DLP, that is Data Loss Protection. So I will show you these components Hello everyone. So now I'm demonstrating all the pipeline features in production server. So once click on this app icon, we can able to see uh, all the plugins will be listed here. You have to just click on the data pipeline module and then the data pipeline homepage will be open and you just click on the list of pipelines. So once you click on the list of pipelines, all the existing pipelines will be listed here and you can see all the existing pipelines are listed. I have already created my pipeline that is demo 7.5. So I have just click on this view icon, then the pipelines will be open. And I have created this pipeline with multiple components. So all the components will be listed here. And the components I have configured in real time invocation type. And so first feature is the play pause feature where we can start and stop the component even if the pipeline is in activated mode. So once I click on activate pipeline icon, then what will happen? All pipeline will be activated and all the components will be start and processing or producing the data. So we can go in advanced log and see all the pods are coming up and started producing data. Logs are also displaying. All the components have started. And now the play and pause feature is applicable only for the real-time component. Please note down the play pause feature is applicable only for the real-time component. So once you click on the component, right hand side, you can see start and stop or play pause icon will be available. So component is already started. If you want to stop, you just click on this particular icon, then the component is stopped successfully. You can go to the advanced log and see the pods are not there for the Python component. Now, what I need to do, I just want to be reconfigure some instances. Like suppose I want to be change this configuration from 1 to 2 and save the component and I want to start this component again. So this component is started successfully with two instances because we have changed the number of instances from 1 to 2. So the Python script component will be start with two instances. So we can see in advanced log we have the two instances for the Python component. Showing the second feature that is a Python script validator and VCS. So we can see we have Python script component here. So once you click on this Python script component, go to the metadata information and you can able to see the script here. So this is our sample script. Uh, Now, right hand side, we have the icon that is validate script. So once you click on this validate script, it will display either the script is correct or not. So if you want to modify it, suppose that I have incorrect my script and just click on this validate script, then it will be displaying invalid syntax error. So using this valid data script feature helps you can validate the script either it is correct or not. Okay, and there is one more feature with this component. We have the push and pull script to VCS. So suppose that I have this script and I want to be this script into VCS. So I just click on this push script to VCS icon and commit message. I just giving this is my script one, that is a default script. I just click on OK button and then push to VCS started. And now it is displaying push to VCS successfully. So if you want to pull it, you just click on the pull from VCS icon and then you will get like we have already created the first version. We have pushed it first version with a particular committed message that is a script one. Okay. So if I'm modifying a script, suppose I have modifying this script from I just change the this name. Okay. Now I'm validating the script and trying to push it. Then it will I'm getting some notification message before pushing the any script to the pipeline. You have to be update the pipeline. So I just update it and then again go back to the component meta information and try to validate the script and push a script into VCS. So this is my second version P2 I have created and click on OK button. Then again the push to VCS is started and it is successfully pushed. Now when we are clicking on the full icon, that is a full from vicious icon, we can see two versions got created. So the old one is v1, so I just click on this and OK button, then we will get old script, right? So this is the feature which helps we can push and pull the script from and to VCS. Okay, so the push and pull VCS feature, this script is nothing but we can maintain the different versions for the same script. Okay, if we modify the script, we can push it into the Git, and later on we can pull it from the Git. Okay, so next feature I'm demonstrating that is failure analysis, right? So we can see here we have the SQL component where I have configured this component with the failover event. So this is the component demo underscore event 5 where we are getting 1000 record, and this is the data. Okay, so what is happening when we are running the pipeline and this component is some issue is there in the data or with the component configurations, then what will happen, this component is started producing data to the failover event. So we can able to see the data is there in the failover event. If data is there in the failover event, maybe some records will be there processed by the component, but no, there is no records because all records are displaying in the failover event. So what is the cause? It will also display here in the preview section. When we will go to the preview, you can see what is the cause due to that the component is failing and trying to and producing the data to the failover event. So table of view not found. So what it does mean? It means when we have configured the component, we have given the wrong information. Like we have, this is the table. Actually, the table name is table, and here we have given wrong table name. That's why it is producing the data to the failover event. Now, how to analyze our data? So when you see here, top section, we have the failure analysis icon. So once you click on this failure analysis icon, you can see this is the failure analysis UI. Left hand side, all the components will be displaying, which is associated with the pipeline. So we can see data loss protection, there is no failed records. RDBMS, there is no failed record. In Python also, there is no, but in a SQL, we have failed records. We have already data is there in the failover event. So we can see this is the data which is failed and produced by the component and sending data to the failover event. Here we can apply the filters based on our requirement. We can filter it out and analyze our data. And here is the limit. It can support the 1000 number of records. You can see the 1000 number of records here. So maximum limit is 1000. You can modify it, you can reset it. If you reset it, then it will be reset it with 10. You can you can use this feature sort, in which we can sort it out ascending and descending order based on our requirement. So this is a failure analysis, which helps we can analyze our data, analyze a failed data which is already there in the failover event. And then we go back to the pipeline. And one more feature is there, I will show you, that is a border feature. You can see all the components are in real time, and this pipeline is already in deactivated mode. So you can see the color of the border, I mean the border of the component color is red. Okay, and once we activate the pipeline, then what will happen? All the real-time components immediately started, and the color is changed from red to green. It means when the component is in active mode, the border of the component is displaying as red color, and if the component is in if the component started or active, then the border of the component will be changed from red to green. So this is a border feature. And the next feature is uh, pipeline testing feature. Okay, so once I click on this pipeline testing icon, we can see all the component which is associated with the pipeline will be listed here. We can individually test all the components with the sample records. We can create the multiple test case with individual components, right? Suppose that I have selected Python script. You can see here, right hand side, we have the create test case button. So once you click on the create test case button, you have to specify the test case name. So my test case name is 1, and I want to be, this is the description, basic assertion. I want to do the basic assertion using this test case. Choose the file. So here we have to be upload the input file. Sample records, it supports 10 records. So you have to be configure or upload 10 records JSON file. So I have this file. I have uploaded it, and the output, expected output. What is the expected output? When you are running the Python script component, what will be the expected output based on the input file? So I'm just selecting output JSON, and there is a schema file. So we have to be upload the schema based on the output. So I'm just uploading an output schema. I have already there in my system. I have created this JSON output schema. So this is the output schema. I have uploaded it, and here we have some assertions, comparison logic, like number of columns. I want to apply these assertions like number of columns comparison, data comparison, number of rows comparison, and also the schema should be matched. Okay, so once you click on save button, then this test cases will be added. You can add more test cases. When you click on the create test cases, you can add more test cases here and execute simultaneously all the test cases. So once it is completed configuration, we can see input data. We have this input data. We can see in the shrink way, and expected output we can see also same way, and report is not generated. Report is generated only when we are executing the test cases. So this is our test case. Now I'm trying to run this test case. So once you click on the run button, it will ask, you want to be run the selected test cases? Yes. And now we go to the advanced logs. We can see the pod is already up and running. And the log section, we can see logs are generating. The script is sending data to the out event, and it's completely sent, and the component is already stopped. Now we can see the report. So all the comparisons, all the sessions are passed. Yes, so we are getting the success message here also. And if you go to the test cases, inside the test cases, we can see the report option, and you can verify with this version we have done these test cases. So this is our test suite or the test framework, which else we can test individual component, and individual components we can configure multiple test cases and execute it. Feature is pull and push the pipeline into the Git or from the Git. So we have two options: push pipeline and a pull pipeline from the Git. So suppose that I have this pipeline. So I have already mentioned we have the version control management system now. So which helps we can push and pull the pipeline from the Git. Even if you are changing any of the metadata information, we are changing anything in the pipeline, we can push it, and later on, if you want, you can pull it from the Git. So we have this pipeline, and I want to push this pipeline into the Git. So I just click on this push pipeline icon, and you can see we have, it will open, and we have the two options are there for pushing the pipeline into the Git export and version control. So Git export is nothing but if you choose this option, it means you are trying to migrate your pipeline into the different spaces and into the different servers. So using this option, migration or the Git export option, you can migrate your pipeline into the different spaces and different server. And the first option, that is a version control, which helps we can maintain the different versions into the same space. Okay. So this Git export is already there in the 7.0. So this is the new feature, that is a version control, which helps we can create or maintain the different versions into the Git for the same pipeline. Okay, so suppose that I just try um, I'm just trying to push my pipeline using this version control option. So I have just uh, write the initial commit message. This is the initial pipeline. Okay, I have the initial pipeline. I just click on this OK button, then this pipeline will be pushed into the pipeline and pushed to Vicious, and we'll get the success message. Now, suppose that I have modified my pipeline. I just copy paste this component and put it here and add this event. Click on the plus icon and drag and drop. Connect it. Save it. What I have done, I just add one more component into the same pipeline, and now I'm trying to push it into the Git. So that is our updated pipeline. Okay, and choose version control option and then click on OK button. So this is our second version. So where this is, I have modified my existing pipeline. Now we have the pull pipeline option. I want to be pull pipeline from the Git. So once you click on the pull pipeline icon, what you will get two versions, because we have created two versions. V1 is the initial version and second one is the updated version. So updated version you can able to see in my screen, and now I'm trying to pull initial version. So you have to just choose the option that is V1, and the commit message you can identify. We have the initial pipeline committed message, and once you click on the OK button, then it will be start pulling from the Git and import it successfully. You will get the imported successfully. So now you can see this is our first version. Now I will okay, so I'm showing the next feature, that is a DB sync. DB sync is nothing but using this feature we can directly write our data into a particular database. So here we have the option that is settings. Once you click on this settings icon, you can able to see we have the DB sync option. So once you click on DB sync, then the DB sync UI will be open, and you can see I have already created the one connection, that is a MongoDB connection, and it is in activated mode, and driver is MongoDB, and the connection type is standard. So here we have the edit setting icon. If you want to modify it, suppose that you want to be change the host name, username, password, or you want to change the database name, you can change it and just save it. So once you click on save button, it will be edited. And here we have the connect and disconnect option, so you can disconnect it. Once you disconnect it, it will not be display, this connection will not be appear in the DB sync event. So it should be connected, then only we can able to see or create a DB sync event in our pipeline. So if you want to create, there is one more option. If you want to create the setting, if you want to create the new connections, you can create the new connections. Just click on this plus icon and just specify all the fields, and then click on the save button. Then it will be created the new. Now I just go back to my pipeline, that is demo 7.5. When I click here demo 7.5, and what you have to do, you have to be click here in the DB sync. This is the DB sync where it will come. Once you click on the event panel, the private events are there, that is a normal events, Kafka events. When you click on the DB sync, then where there is an option, these two are the DB sync event. I want to create the new event, so I have to specify the name of my DB sync event. So uh, this is my DB sync 2. I want to be write the data into MongoDB. So this is my DB sync event using, okay, but I have not specified the connection ID, then it is not created. So again, I am just giving the display name, that is MongoDB, and connection ID, that is a MongoDB, save it and it will be created and displayed in the list. You have to just drag and drop just like the normal event and connect it with the component. So now what will happen, this Mongo in this, you have to be configured. So once you click on this event, DB sync event, you have to specify the name. So this is my name of the table, employee emp, DB sync, and you have to choose the mode of operation. So I have to choose append mode. So this is the mode of operation on which you want to be write the data into the collection or the table, and you have to save it. Click on the save button, update the pipeline, and activate the pipeline. So once you activate the pipeline, then your pipeline will be activated and all the components will start and producing the data to the event. Okay, so we need to be check the logs, what's going on. Multiple components are there, and we have to be check the Python component, the configuration logs, what is going on. The process already started, and what is the table on the collection? This is a EMP sync. We will check in the Mongo collection and will verify either the data has written successfully. Yeah, it's sending data to the event. Now it's sending to the data to the DB sync event, whatever we have created. So now go back. Now we will go to the Mongo collection and just 1000 records are there. So this is a DB sync feature which helps we can write directly into the specified DB. So I have created the connection for Mongo, so I can able to write the data into the Mongo collection. Hello everyone. So now I'm showing you the new release components, that is DS data loss protection, RabbitMQ consumer, RabbitMQ producer. So let's get started with the data loss protection. So we have this component data loss protection. So this component is nothing but we can protect our data using some protection algorithms. So we have some algorithms that is showing in the rule type drop down, redaction, masking, data generalization. So here what I'm doing, I have just given the column name on which I need to be apply this hashing, and once you select the hashing from the rule type, then you can see here we have some SHA algorithms. That is 256, 384 and 512. So I have choose 256, and for age column I want to be apply masking algorithm, and the masking should be apply I want to be apply this masking algorithm, and whenever I'm masking I need to use this character, that is a masking character you need to be specify here. And we have, if you want to ignore some character you can ignore and write here that is optional. And the type of on full data you want to apply or partially, so I have choose partial and not choose a reverse order. I want from sequence from left to right. So the starting character will be 2 and the ending length will be 3. So it will be start with 2 and the length should be 3. And another column is salary column where I have applied the reduction algorithm. The type should be the partial, and in reverse order from right to left it would be start from the 1 and the length should be 2. So let me check. I have already activated this pipeline and we have already data in the previous section. When we will go there, you can see on age column I have applied masking where it starts from the 2, that is 0, 1 and 2, and 3 characters from the length is 3. So from 2 it should be the 3 characters. And if you are checking the customer ID, I have applied uh, hashing, that is SHA256, and in the salary column I have applied the redaction algorithm, that is in reverse order from 1 to 2. So it will be redact and showing the redaction part.
in our records. So that is the DLP component. And the next component, I will show you RabbitMQ and Consume. So now I'm showing DS Lab model runner. We can, I'm just showing you where is the DS Lab. So once you click on the DS Lab icon, there is a app icon. You just select this DS Lab module, and then the DS Lab module will open with the projects. So all the projects will be listed out here. And if you see my pipeline, I have created one pipeline that is demo DS Lab. So as I have mentioned earlier, we have created the models and the script in the DS Lab side, that we can export it into the pipeline and we can use it in our pipeline. So if you see here, we have the project, and this is our project for the sales, and these are the models. You can see here notebook, data sets, utility, and the models. These are the models. This is the filtered. If you want to select all, then all models will be listed here. And if you select the registered, means these are the models which I have already exported to the pipeline. Okay, so I have already exported a model here. So you can see in the DS Lab, in the meta information, you can see here, this is a project name. So I have choose a project name, that is project for sales, and the model name, whatever I have exported from the DS Lab, and this is a ML type. So you have to be just choose it. It will be automatically display when you export it from the DS Lab. You just activate the pipeline and run it. Then you can see the models are running state is already in activated state. And you can see here the meta information, number of records, how many records are there. And you can go to the preview section and validate like how many records are produced by this component based on our selected model. So once you go to the meta information, uh, event, and verify 1536, 1536 records are there, and this is a prediction based on the. So just like that, we have another option you can use as a script. So here we have the script option. When you go to the metadata, you have choose a script runner and run the pipeline. Just configure it and use it. So this is a DS lab runner. So now I'm showing RabbitMQ producer and consumer components. So you can able to see my screen. This is a RabbitMQ producer pipeline, and if you want, you can get it from the producer section. Just drag and drop this component from the producer. You can get it the RabbitMQ producer, and once you click on the consumer, you can check we have the consumer. So this is the pipeline where I have already created one workflow in which we have RTMS seeder and the RabbitMQ producer. So what is actually the RabbitMQ producer component? It's nothing but it's producing or publishing the messages to the RabbitMQ broker. Okay, so if you are just click on this RabbitMQ producer component, you can see I have already uh, specified. I have already given some. I have already configured host, port number, username, and password. And there is a two main field, that is a queue exchange. Okay, so what is the exchange? Exchange is nothing but it is responsible for routing the messages to the different queue with the help of keys, whatever we are giving here, published key and binding key. So we have the different exchange type. Using that, we can just publish the messages to the particular queue. So you can see here I have configured every all the fields and just save the component, and pipeline is already in activated mode. So you can see the RabbitMQ producer successfully published the messages to the broker. So if it is already published, we can check in the consumer pipeline. We have the RabbitMQ consumer pipeline, where what we need to do, we have consumer is nothing but it consumes data, whatever it is there in the queue. Okay, so here, if you are checking the RabbitMQ consumer, there is a queue store, whatever I have given while producing the data to the uh, a particular queue. So this is our queue name. So you just specified this queue name in RabbitMQ consumer, and you can read the data from this particular consumer component for the queue type. So here we have the 1000 record, which is produced by the RabbitMQ producer component. Now I think I have covered all the components, RabbitMQ producer and consumer. Yeah, and one more option is there, if you are talking about the virtual host. So if you are producing the data using the virtual host, uh, then when you are consuming the data from the particular queue, you have to also specify the virtual host in this field. That is optional. You can give